Hello scent addicts, welcome to Fragrance Therapy. I'm your host Alam, and today I'm going to be ranking one of my favorite Middle Eastern fragrance lines. I'm talking about the Amber Oud line from the House of Al Haramain. We'll briefly talk about each one, when it was released, what it's inspired by, and why I ranked them where I did. So without further ado, let's dive in. So the original in this line was just called Amber Oud, and that was released back in 2018. And I don't own that one. I also don't own the private edition. And honestly, those two are a little bit harder to find nowadays. I also don't own white and ultraviolet because those are women's fragrances. Despite what the name might suggest, oud is not a defining factor in this line. In fact, some of them don't have oud at all. At the number 9 spot, I have Amber Oud Blue Edition. Now, is this a bad fragrance? No, absolutely not. It's actually high quality. It smells good. But honestly, when I started collecting this line, I was like, do I really need another Bleu de Chanel clone? And initially I said no. But then I started hearing rumbling from other YouTubers that this is actually not a Bleu de Chanel clone at all. It's in fact a PDM Layton clone. And I do love me some Layton. So I was like, you know what? Let me blind buy it. Let me give it a shot. When I finally got it in and I smelled it, I was like, either I'm going crazy or they're going crazy, because this is not a Layton clone. This is absolutely a Bleu de Chanel clone. And I'm not trying to hate on Bleu de Chanel. I actually own a bottle of the EDP and I think it's a good scent. It's just that I have that one. I have other clones of it. I just didn't need another Bleu de Chanel, and it just doesn't do anything differently. It honestly, to me, it just smells almost identical to the Bleu de Chanel. So, you know, it's just a boring scent for me at this point. As far as the notes go on this one, on top you get grapefruit, lemon, mint, and pink peppers. In the mid, you get ginger, vetiver, and jasmine. In the base, you get olibanum, sandalwood, cedar, and patchouli. Even when you look at the actual note breakdown, when you compare this to Bleu de Chanel and Layton side by side, the notes are way closer to the Bleu de Chanel than they are to Layton. I also don't think there's a single bad fragrance in this line. I think they're all good to varying degrees. It's just that this one is just a little too boring for me at this point. So that's why at my number 9. At my number 8 spot, I have Amber Oud Tobacco Edition. This one was released back in 2019 and is a clone of Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. Looking at the notes, the top includes tobacco leaf, cinnamon, black pepper, and ginger. In the mid, you get vanilla, clove, star anise, cocoa, tonka bean, and incense. And in the base, you get more tobacco, dried fruits, and woods. Longevity-wise, this thing lasts a long, long time. I'm talking about 8 to 10 hours on skin, and on clothes, it's even longer. I've sprayed it on my clothes and then came back to the clothes the next day and I could still smell it. Also, heavy projection, really strong. People say that it leaves a very noticeable trail. It gets into the beast mode territory. This one has a lovely opening. I think initially it's very well balanced. So your question is, why is it at number 8? Well, for me, the issue is when it dries down. And it's not really an issue, it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's a tobacco fragrance. It's tobacco on top, tobacco in the base. So it's tobacco all the time. And the problem is, when it dries down, for me at least, all I can smell at the end is tobacco. And that tobacco note, when it's that heavy and that strong, does tend to give me a headache. So I'm not saying it's a bad fragrance, it just doesn't work for me. Whenever I think of reaching for it, I'm looking at the opening, I'm like, yes. But then when I think about, after like 5 hours, when I get to that dry down, I'm gonna get a headache. So I just tend to not reach for this one. But I love smelling it on the strip. I love smelling in the open. It's just not something that I reach for. And that's why it's my number 8. At the number 7 spot, we have Amber Oud Rouge. This one was released back in 2019. And it's a clone of Baccarat Rouge 540. So the longevity is where this thing suffers. It's like average at best. On my skin, I get about 8 hours. I really love the scent profile, but my biggest issue is performance. Along with that average longevity, projection is not great. Some people even say it's downright poor, which is shocking for the Amber Oud line because almost every other fragrance in this line has good to beast mode projection. This one, just for me at least, it just does not last and it doesn't project. I don't know if it's just me or my batch. Let me know in the comments if that's your experience with this one as well. But for me, it's just what it is. Along with Rouge, they also make a Ruby edition. That Ruby edition is supposed to be a clone of Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait. So the oil concentration is all higher and it is Extrait de Parfum. So it might resolve some of the performance issues that I get with this one. But in any case, still a lovely fragrance. Like I said, not a single one in this line is a bad fragrance. Just performance is what puts it at number 7 for me. At the number 6 spot, we have Al Haramain's Amber Oud Dubai Nights Edition. This one was released in 2024 and it's Al Haramain's take on Arabian's Tonka by Montal. Looking at the notes, you get saffron, bergamot, and elemi on top. In the mid, you get Bulgarian rose, agarwood, and lily of the valley. And in the base, you get tonka bean, amber, white musk, and oak moss. When it comes to performance, this is also a very long-lasting fragrance. It is an Extrait de Parfum. You definitely get about 8 to 10 hours on skin, and again, even longer on clothes. Projection-wise, it's good. I wouldn't say quite beast mode, though I have heard some people say that it fills a room like a beast mode fragrance. But for me, it's solid. It really hurts putting this one at number 6 and so low on the list. I really do love the scent profile of Arabian's Tonka. Honestly, I love everything from here on out on the list. It really does feel like a niche luxury scent profile with the saffrons and the florals. They are the stars of the show in this one, and it's high quality stuff, but something just has to go at number 6. And right now, this is the one that I'm feeling fits this spot. So number 6, Dubai Nights. At the number 5 spot, we have Amber Oud Gold Edition. Now this one was released back in 2018 and it is a clone of Xerjoff's Herba Pura. Notes wise, on top you're looking at bergamot and greens. In the mid you get melon, sweet notes, pineapple, and amber. And in the base you get vanilla, musk, and woods. Longevity, this is true beast mode. I'm talking about 12 plus hours on skin for days on clothes. Strong projection. People are gonna smell you, and you gotta be a little bit light on this one because you can choke people out, especially if it's a warmer day. This is the one that put this line on the map. I still think it's the highest rated one out of all of them in Fragrantica, and I do love the Herba Pura DNA. This one catches that DNA perfectly, albeit with a little bit lesser ingredients as far as quality wise. And many folks say that this one does tend to lean a bit feminine. And I can see it. This is one of my wife's most used fragrances. But I love the DNA. I think men can pull it off just fine. You just have to wear it with a little bit of confidence. But you will see a little bit later on why this is at my number 5. Because there is another version of this that ranks a little bit higher for me. Stay tuned. Next up, we have Amber Oud Aqua Dubai. This one was released back in 2024 and it's a clone of Imagination by Louis Vuitton. As far as the notes go, on top you get bergamot, greens, mandarin orange. In the mid you get amber, melon, blackcurrant, pineapples. In the base you get petitgrain, musk, and vanillas. This one is an Extrait de Parfum, so I would say longevity is good. Definitely about 8 hours. Others say 8 to 10 hours. Definitely longer again on clothes. Extraits do tend to just last longer on clothes because the oil just sits there. Projection is good on this one. I would say for the first half hour to hour, strong. After that, settles more down in the skin. It is a freshie after all, so maybe a little bit overspring. I wouldn't go too heavy, but a little bit overspring might help with the performance overall. This was one of the first really popular clones of Louis Vuitton's Imagination, and I can see why. With this one, you're getting like really high quality ingredients. Though the tea note is dialed down a little bit compared to the original, but still luxury soapy vibes, very clean, very good for the summer, really good stuff. So yeah, that's my number 4, Aqua Dubai. At my number 3 spot, we have Amber Oud Black Edition. This one was released back in 2023, and it is a clone of Tom Ford's Effing Fabulous. Notes-wise, on top you're getting cardamom, lavender, and woods. In the middle you're getting leather, amber, and tonka bean. And in the base we're looking at ambergris, benzoin, and vetiver. Performance-wise, this one is decent. I would say not as strong as some of the ones I went over, but definitely stronger than Rouge. It varies from person to person. For me personally, I get 7 to 8 hours tops. I know people that swear by it, they say 12 hours. That hasn't been my case. Maybe I'm going nose blind, I don't know. But it does have a strong opening and then really settles for me into a skin scent. Projection is decent too. I'm talking about for the first half hour, pretty decent projection. After that, it kind of fades away. In my opinion, this is the most classy and sophisticated fragrance in the entire line. And it doesn't hurt that it's cloning one of my favorite Tom Ford fragrances. This is also best for fall and winter. This one is great for formal events. Awesome with a suit and tie. I was going back and forth between this and the next one for my number 3 and 2 spot. The next one is a freshie, so maybe if it was a fall, maybe I would have put this at number 2. But now we're in that weather that fresh scents just tend to work better, so maybe that's why it went to number 3. But still, love this one. Who knows, if I made this list in the fall, it could have been number 2. So that's my number 3, Amber Oud Black Edition. At my number 2 spot, I have Al Haramain Amber Oud Carbon Edition. This one was released in 2022 and is a clone of Creed's Green Irish Tweed. Looking at the notes, on top you get bergamot, lavender, and rosemary. In the mid you get sea notes, geranium, and sage. And in the base you get amber, moss, vetiver, and cedar. This thing is like true freshie, so you get moderate performance from here. It's pretty good for a freshie, 8 hours-ish. Decent, but no beast mode. For some reason, it really does perform really well on clothes. Like, it lasts forever, way longer on clothes than it does on skin, at least in my opinion. Projection wise, I would say it's moderate. Really pumps off nicely in that first hour off the skin, but then it does settle down after that. Listen, I was a teenager in the 90s, and my first serious cologne was Davidoff's Cool Water. And as you might know, Davidoff Cool Water was a budget version of Green Irish Tweed, and it was made by the same perfumer. For me, pure nostalgia on this one. This one, whenever I smell it, it just takes me back. And man, scents are about place and time. And this really puts me back in that time when I was a teenager in the 90s. The new generation might not dig this one as much. It is a freshie. I don't think it's sweet enough for what people are looking for. That's what's really popular today. But man, for freshie, it is clean, it's sophisticated, and that's what makes me love it. So my number 2 spot is Carbon Edition. And my number 1 spot goes to Amber Oud Extreme Gold. This one was released in 2022 and thinks Xerjoff's Herba Pura on steroids. Notes-wise, on top you get bergamot and greens. In the mid you get sweet notes, melon, pineapple, cedar, and amber. And in the base you get woodsy notes, myrrh, musk, and vanilla. If you want to call any one of these beast mode, it's this one. I'm talking about it lasts like 15 hours on my skin and for days on my clothes. Projection wise, I would call this exceptionally strong beast mode. With just a few sprays you can fill a room, so don't go crazy when you're spraying this one. This is extrait de parfum, so it takes that gold and pumps up the oil concentration, and it makes it more resinous and woody. And in my opinion, that change is what makes this a more masculine take on the Herba Pura DNA. You still get that fruit salad vibe that people say with Herba Pura, but it's with an edge. That woodsy, resinous nature just makes it more masculine and makes it more appealing to me. And on top of that, this thing is nuclear when it comes to performance. My number 1 is Amber Oud Extreme Gold Edition. So there you have it, folks. Those are my thoughts on 8 of the Al Haramain Amber Oud collection. Tell me in the comments which one is your favorite. And as always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more affordable fragrance content. And until next time, I'm out.